Okay, so the crypto world, it moves so fast, doesn't it? It feels like every week there's a new platform, a new opportunity, and you're just trying to keep up, trying to figure out what's actually worth looking into.
Absolutely. It's a whirlwind. And within crypto, you've got derivatives, which adds another whole layer of complexity and potential. Exciting, yeah, but maybe a bit daunting to get your head around quickly.
Exactly why we wanted to zoom in today on BexBack. It's one of these crypto derivatives platforms. It seems to be making some noise lately. We've got their press release right here, and they're really highlighting what they see as their main selling points.
Right. So our mission really for this deep dive is just to unpack that. What is BexBack actually offering? And, why might it be relevant if you're someone thinking about getting into crypto trading or maybe already are?
Okay, let's dive straight in then. One of the big headlines they push is 100x leverage. Now that number, 100x, it definitely catches the eye.
It really does. So what does that actually mean? If you're trading, leverage basically lets you control a much bigger position than your initial stake.
Yeah, the press release gives an example, like with 100x leverage, putting in $1,000 could let you control $100,000 worth of crypto.
Which is, oh, well, the potential there is clear, isn't it? Even tiny price shifts, like a fraction of a percent up, could mean a really significant return on that initial $1,000.
That's the hook, yeah. Amplifying those small market moves into potentially much bigger profits.
Yeah.
That's what they're emphasizing. A way to get more bang for your buck, potentially.
But, and this is a big, but it's so important to get that this amplification works both ways. The press release focuses on the upside, naturally, but that same 100x leverage means your losses can get magnified just as dramatically. A small price move against you could wipe out that initial capital very, very quickly.
That's a critical point. It's much higher leverage than you typically see on, say, more traditional regulated exchanges in a lot of places.
Definitely. So while they say it appeals to both new and experienced traders, that level of risk amplification well, it's something anyone needs to be really aware of before jumping in.
Right. Okay, moving on. Another key thing BexBack is shouting about is having no KYC requirements.
Yeah, KYC, know your customer. For anyone maybe not familiar, it's that standard process on most financial platforms, lots of crypto exchanges too, where you have to upload ID, prove who you are, regulatory stuff usually.
And BexBack is specifically saying, we don't do that. So what's the benefit they're selling there?
Well, the main pitch is efficiency and anonymity. You skip the whole ID verification thing, which can sometimes take ages, right? So you can sign up and start trading much faster.
Speed and privacy then.
Yeah.
The release frames it as ideal for traders who maybe prefer to keep things more private or just want a simpler, quicker start.
And that definitely taps into a certain sentiment in the crypto space, the value placed on pseudonymity.
Sure.
Though it's probably worth just flagging that operating without KYC does raise questions in some quarters about things like regulatory oversight and potential misuse, even if that's not the intent of most users.
A fair point to keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about something else that always gets attention. Bonuses. BexBack seems to have a few different ones, according to this release.
Yeah, they list three main types. First up is a 100% deposit bonus.
Right, so you deposit funds, and they match it with bonus funds up to a limit. The release says this gives you extra margin. How did that work?
It basically increases your trading capital on the platform, so it might let you open those larger leveraged positions we talked about. Or they also suggest it can act as a kind of buffer, absorbing some initial losses, maybe.
Okay, but what's the catch? Can you just take that bonus money out?
No. That's the key thing. You can trade with it, use it to increase your position size or absorb losses, but you can't withdraw the bonus funds themselves.
Gotcha. So it boosts your trading power on their platform, but it's not like free cash in your pocket. Kind of like extra casino chips you can bet with, but not cashed out directly.
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah. Then there's a $50 welcome bonus.
For new users, right? How do you get that one?
This one kicks in after you complete your very first trade, so you have to actually open and close a position. Once you've done that, you get the $50.
And they say you can use that $50 to offset any loss on that first trade, or just use it for more trading. Sounds like a little incentive to get your feet wet.
Exactly. Encourages you to try the platform out. And the last one they mention is an affiliate program.
Right, where you earn by referring people.
Yeah, pretty standard model. You refer new users, and the press release says you can earn up to 50% of the trading fees they generate. So if you bring in active traders, it could become a kind of passive income stream.
Okay, 50% of fees does sound quite high compared to some other programs out there.
It's definitely on the generous side, yeah.
Right, so beyond leverage, no KYC, And bonuses. What else are they highlighting? There was something about no slippage that caught my eye. What's that about?
Slippage is, well, it's when the price you click to buy or sell at isn't the exact price your trade actually goes through at. It can happen in fast markets or if there isn't much liquidity. So BexBack claiming no slippage is a guarantee, they say, that the price you see is the price you get. Full stop.
And they stress that's really important for precision, especially, again, with high leverage, where even a tiny price difference could matter a lot.
Oh, massively. In crypto, things move fast. Slippage can eat into profits or make losses worse, particularly on a big leveraged position. So if they truly eliminate that, it's a significant plus.
Makes sense. They also mentioned being available globally.
The release lists several countries, including the US, Canada, and various places in Europe. So they're aiming for a wide reach.
And what about learning the ropes? Is there anything for beginners or people wanting to test it out first?
Yeah, they offer a demo account. And it sounds pretty well funded with virtual money, 10 Bitcoin, and $1 million US, apparently.
Wow, okay. So you can really play around with strategies, get used to the interface, see how that leverage feels, all without risking any real money.
Exactly. Great for practice, risk-free, whether you're new or just want to test a strategy. And finally, they mention having 247 customer support.
Which is always good to know, especially in crypto, which never sleeps, right?
Definitely reassuring to know help's available anytime.
Okay, so let's zoom out again slightly. What is BexBack? The company itself, where are they based, what's their overall pitch?
Well, according to this release, they define themselves as a crypto derivatives exchange, really specializing in those high-leverage crypto futures. And of course, the no-KYC aspect is central.
And location.
They state their HQ is in Singapore, but they also list offices in places like Hong Kong, Japan, the US, UK, Argentina, suggesting they have, or at least aspire to have, a pretty significant global footprint.
And user numbers. They only launched fairly recently, right? May 2024, the release says.
Yeah, very recent. But they're claiming over 500,000 registered users worldwide already since that launch.
500,000 users in just a few months.
Yeah.
That's rapid growth, if accurate.
It certainly suggests strong initial traction in what's a very crowded market.
So putting it all together, what's the core story BexBack seems to be telling about itself?
I think the core appeal boils down to a few things. The potential for amplified returns via that high leverage, the ease and speed of getting started because of no KYC, plus those bonuses as sweeteners.
They're kind of positioning themselves as giving traders maximum control, low barriers to entry, maybe.
Yeah, that seems to be the angle. High potential, maximum control, simplicity. And they definitely project confidence, aiming to be a leader based on these features.
The release also sort of weaves in mentions of ongoing crypto market volatility, doesn't it? Bitcoin trading below $100 K.
It does, yeah. It subtly hints that in a choppy market, maybe tools like high leverage become more relevant for trying to capitalize on swings, though, again, we have to stress the risk side of that coin.
Absolutely. And none of this is investment advice, obviously. We're just dissecting what the platform itself is saying.
Sure.
They do give their website for anyone wanting to look further. www.bexback.com.
Right. So maybe the final thought to leave listeners with is this. Considering everything we've talked about, the 100x leverage, no KYC, the bonuses, the no slippage promise, how might a platform like this fit into your personal approach? You know, depending on your strategy, your risk appetite, your view on privacy, how do these features resonate with how you think about engaging with the crypto market?
Yeah, it really highlights how diverse the options are becoming. Hopefully this breakdown gives you a better framework for your own research, helping you weigh the pros and cons of different platforms in this ever-evolving crypto trading world.